And here's the crystal truth. When capacity is ignored, overload is guaranteed 100% of the time. When you ignore the capacity, when you ignore the current season you're in, it's kind of like having your head in the sand and just expecting like nothing's happening here, everything's fine. But when you ignore the capacity and you're not checking in before you're committing to something, overload is guaranteed. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. Well, hey, friend, and welcome back to another Remix Moment with Martine. I want to talk to you today about something every high achieving woman quietly struggles with, and almost none of us have ever been taught how to navigate it well. And it's this word capacity. And you've heard me talk about it on the podcast, and it's kind of becoming, a buzzword. But I want you to think about not the fantasy capacity that you wish you had, or not the capacity that you had maybe 3 years ago or before you had a big life change. I mean, the actual current real time capacity that you're living in today. And I want to start with a moment from several years ago, one that I now look back on with so much more honesty than I had at the time. And honestly, that I had the mental capacity, because there's different types of capacity, and we're going to talk about that in future episodes. But there was a season where my business was growing, my kids were busy, and I was saying yes to opportunities that were good, not great, simply because I believed I could handle it all. And listen, as someone who does have, you've heard me talk about different size fuel tanks, I do have a large fuel tank. I am able to do lots of things. I talked about that in the last episode, but I wasn't always saying yes because I wanted to. I was saying yes because I expected myself to. I thought it was what I should do, what others were expecting of me, because my identity, without me realizing, had been built on being the one who didn't need boundaries, being the strong one physically, the strong one emotionally, the strong one mentally, the one that could take more, like give it to Martine, she can take it, the one that could keep going no matter what. And I didn't know it then, but that was the exact moment where I quietly started to override my own capacity. Not dramatically, not all at once, but just like one small yes at a time. Even when physically my body was telling me, like, this is enough, this will cost you. And I know you've done this too, because I hear this all the time. And it's one of my favorite parts of the coaching process that I take my clients through is them looking at their capacity in real time. And we're going to talk about growing your capacity in a future episode, but you do have to start with a baseline. You do have to understand your baseline capacity because it is unique to you. But I know that you have felt stretched before. I know that you have felt overwhelmed. I know that you maybe right now are feeling the fatigue, not because you don't care, but because you've never paused long enough to ask, do I actually have the energetic capacity for this in this season? And again, capacity is not just physically. Like I have a lot of clients who are like, no, I can keep going. And I question that a little bit because there's probably little signs that their body is telling them otherwise. But I also want you to think about emotionally and spiritually and mentally. So I want to make it really simple today. Capacity is not just time, it's how much mental, emotional, and physical fuel you actually have available right now. Not the amount you wish you had, not what you're working towards, but what's available to you right now. And the reason we don't understand this is because we just don't slow down long enough. We're in the performance loop. In that season, was performing so greatly for all areas of my life. I was in the performing versus leading that you hear me talk about. And because I was performing my way through life, I didn't allow myself the time to look at my emotional capacity, to look at some hard things that I was going through at the time and actually processing it instead of like waiting until the fallout or waiting until the burnout. Most of you and most women that I work with don't burn out because they don't know how to manage their time. It's because they never check the capacity before they commit. So one of my clients, this is something that we set up in our second round of coaching was, okay, now we've created awareness around the capacity. We've created the awareness around and the plan around the life that she's trying to build and wants to have. And so now we have to like have those guardrails up. And for her, it was like checking the capacity before she commits. That's a guardrail for her so that she doesn't go back into the hustle, go back into the burnout. And here's the crystal truth. When capacity is ignored, overload is guaranteed 100% of the time. When you ignore the capacity, when you ignore the current season you're in, it's kind of like having your head in the sand and just expecting like nothing's happening here, everything's fine, baking fine. But when you ignore the capacity and you're not checking in before you're committing to something, overload is guaranteed. So here's the skill, the one skill I want you to practice today. Before you say yes to anything else, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to say yes in the next couple of months, I want you to ask one 10-second question. Does this give me energy or take it? Not a pros and cons list, not a spreadsheet evaluation, just an honest body check, an honest capacity check. If it's going to drain you and you're already carrying a lot, that yes is going to cost you more than it's going to get back. It just is. Quick pause. If you've been listening and you're ready to stop performing your life and start leading it, if you know you're ready to feel better now, not later, and you're ready for support that actually creates sustainable transformation, I have private one-on-one coaching spots open. And inside this coaching, in Illuminate You coaching, we don't guess. We use your unique personality blueprint built from the science-backed personality and performance tool called the ProScan, the one you've heard me talk about here in the podcast. This is used so that every decision, every boundary, every shift is designed specifically around your wiring, not someone else's. This is my aligned success method. It's not hacks. It's not try harder. It's not mindset glitter. It's a real solution. It's rooted in science, strategy, and your unique design. So you can lead your life as the woman you actually are, not the woman others expect you to be. You don't need a new year to make a new decision, friend. Now is the time. Take the step. Book your clarity call at martinewilliams.com/clarity. All right, back to the episode. And here's something that we don't talk a lot about, but you can grow your capacity, but you cannot fake capacity. It's not a fake it till you make it. We can change our thoughts about our capacity. We can change and grow our capacity. I mean, there are seasons of my life where, yes, I've had to grow my capacity because of all the things that I have going on, right? Even someone who has a large fuel tank, number one, you got to make sure you're putting fuel in the tank, right? And so you can't have this big gaping hole of all of these things on your list that are just draining your energy all the time. You have to be putting in good sources of energy. And then also believing that in certain seasons of your life, you can grow your capacity physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But you don't expand your capacity by pretending you're not stretched, that this feels hard or this feels like a lot. That you don't expand it by pretending that that's not the truth. You expand it by starting from the truth. This is hard and this feels like a lot and adding an and in there. And by leading from alignment and not adrenaline. Like you get in this like adrenaline rush this time of year, like there's all of this hustle and bustle, right? The holiday hustle and bustle, and everyone's doing it. And for some of you, it's like a high, right? And then there's like this super low come January. And there's a fallout, there's a burnout, I gotta go from like 100 miles a minute to nothing in January. But when you learn to lead from alignment and learn to lead by honoring your capacity, being truthful and honest about your capacity, and then doing the work to grow it if you need to in this season, it's a way better process. And it's way less of a roller coaster of, it's really high and then really low lows. And this is the work that I do with my one-on-one clients. We identify first and foremost your true capacity. What is your natural capacity? We were all born with a natural capacity, or I wouldn't say born with it, but you've developed it over time. Just like you've developed certain traits in your personality, you have developed a certain capacity. And it is important for you to understand what that is so you can create the best yeses this season and moving forward. We also calibrate your energy. Again, like you could have the largest fuel tank. You could be a 7 on the 1 to 7 scale from the pro scan. But if you're on E, because we haven't spent time calibrating that, it doesn't matter. You're still on E. And then we also talk about what are the skill sets do you need to develop? What are the thoughts that you need to be thinking to grow your capacity, to grow your fuel tank in ways that don't break you? In ways that, like, I think when I think of capacity, sometimes I also think about, like, here in South Carolina, we have buffet restaurants, and you probably have been to one, all you can eat, right? And so I want you to picture your plate, and you get to decide and discern when you go to a buffet, what am I going to take off the buffet line and put on my plate? And if you went into a buffet restaurant thinking you had to consume all of the things on the buffet restaurant, you would leave that restaurant. You probably wouldn't even leave. You would get sick physically right there. And so, how many of us go through life in that same way, where we have all of these options and all of these opportunities, and we take them all and we try to put them all on the plate all at the same time? It's like force feeding capacity versus deciding in this season, this is what I'm going to take off the buffet of life, and this is what I'm going to put on my plate intentionally. And it might be an opportunity to grow your capacity, but it's you're deciding and choosing intentionally and purposeful about it versus just allowing all of these things to end up on your plate because you are Miss Dependable, or you're the one everyone comes to, or you're faking fine. So if you've been listening to this and something in this conversation is really like hitting home and you want to lead differently now, and you want to learn, like, what is the skill set for growing my capacity, or like, what is my natural capacity? How can I honor that capacity? And here's the thing, when you learn your natural capacity, you also start honoring other people's capacity. This could be your children, this could be your spouse, this could be your friends, this could be your coworkers. But when you understand yours, you stop performing your life for everyone else and you start leading your life with intention, with purpose, with clarity. So this sounds like something that you really want to grasp a hold of, not in January necessarily, but now. Your next step is to book a clarity call so we can talk through these things and we can look at, like, where is your energy leaking right now? Where's the hole in the tank? Where are you maybe overriding your capacity with performance, with perfection, with the shoulds in your life? I should be doing this holiday season. I should be doing that. I should be looking like her. I should be doing like what she's doing as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And we're going to look at, like, what season are you actually in right now? Not the one you wish you were in. We'll go there too, but the first step to change is awareness. You've got to be aware of where you are right now. What are the thoughts that you're having that are producing your results? What are the actions that you're taking right now that are producing your results? And then we can dream and think about where you want to be, but not from a wishful, like, I hope this will happen. No, this is the direction I'm going. This is the woman that I'm becoming. Because the other thing about now is you don't need a new year to make a new decision. You really don't. You can start leading from truth and clarity and leadership today, self-leadership today. So I want you to go to martinewilliams.com/clarity, and I want you to click, or you can click the link in the show notes, and I want you to book your free clarity call. I've opened up some spots to take one-on-one clients right now, and they're going. So I want you to get on a clarity call. And if for nothing else, there's so much value in just understanding where you are. And you can't see it, I promise you, you can't see it as clearly as having someone kind of talk through it with you and help you to process it. And then to decide, okay, now I have the information, I can make an informed decision on what my next step is. And you've heard me say this before, but I believe we all have a next step and we all have 100% responsibility for that next step. It may be moving forward with me in coaching, it may not. It's okay. But now you have the awareness around what needs to happen, what change what steps you need to take next. So martinewilliams.com/clarity. Click the link in the show notes. And I can't wait to see you on your clarity call. And if not, I will catch you on our next episode. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. And I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.